Yow. Alright, so I had an initial video which I made like 20 minutes ago, and I made the entire video, but it was horrible because I didn't plan anything out. So it became looking like me just like ranting and like talking to you guys with no structure. It was all over the place, disgusting. Here I am. I'm gonna make this and it's gonna be a lot nicer, okay? The other one was depressing. I hated it. But now we have a script. I need an outline to go off of, okay? That's right, I use paper. What can I say? What can I say? That's right, I have a Pentel P205. I got this from my dad, actually. I ordered this new pencil called the Rotring 600. It's coming like Saturday. There's like a winter storm, so it's all delayed, but it's coming Saturday. I got some like graph paper books. I got a lot of like little fun trinkets. I'm gonna get like a pencil case. This is what happens. I get distracted, and it's your fault. It's your fault. Why are you doing this? Are you eating right now? What are you doing? Sorry. Script. I had no Wi-Fi over winter break. Okay, I'm a student. I'm a college student, and over winter break, I had no Wi-Fi. I'll tell you why this is relevant to the story. I went on vacation, and on the vacation, we had no Wi-Fi, right? So in order to entertain ourselves, we would spend time and talk to each other, and it was a lot of fun. But it led for a very long car ride because we had to travel to and from our destination. On the way back, whenever we were driving, okay, my sister had an e-reader, and this e-reader is amazing. It was a Kindle. It was kind of old actually, but it was really cool. And she said her battery lasted for 2 weeks. I was hooked. I love technology, okay? And she had an e-reader, and James Schultz has an e-reader, okay? And J.K. Wan has an e-reader. Everyone has an e-reader, but I don't. So what did I do? I bought one. Yeah, I got an e-reader. This is my Kindle. I don't know who this lady is, but I got an e-reader. Okay. Now I know a lot of you are saying, "What? Why'd you get an e-reader? You could have gotten the books, whatever. You couldn't got a Nook. You could have gotten so many different things." Okay. I like I like the backlight. Okay. I like Bezos front light. Bezos front light. Kindle gives me Bezos front light. I was thinking about the books or even the books Palma, but it was just so expensive. It's like $400 for something that just like lets you read, and like it's like Android, but it's on an e-reader, so you don't get to fully use the Android, and like that's way too much money. This is a lot more affordable, so I got this. Now my thought process was I'll get this Kindle, but I'm gonna jailbreak it, right? I can use co-reader. 2 hours before this thing came in, I got my Kindle, my sister's Kindle, sat down, I started jailbreaking it, okay? I opened it back up after restarting a couple times, and I got fresh, nice wallpaper for her. I got it decked out with co-reader. I made her use terminal inside her Kindle. She doesn't even know anything about CS. She learned what an HDMI port was like 2 weeks ago. She's great though. But whenever my e-reader came in, okay, I wanted to be fancy. I got the newest one, okay? Now, I didn't know this at the time, but you can only jailbreak up to certain versions. This is an e-reader. I did not know it was this deep. I knew it was like this with phones. I didn't know it was like this with e-readers. Guess what the latest version you can jailbreak is? 5.18.5. Now guess what version I had? 5.18.6. What? What do you mean? So now I am stuck with Bezos's front light. I was gonna say backlight, but I said front light because it's a front light. Now this is just for the time being. Honestly, I only use this thing to read, so I'm not really missing out on much. Maybe I still have ads. Maybe I don't have a custom wallpaper, but it's really fine. I really don't care. But I got this e-reader, right? So I was like, what is the first book I'm going to read? I'm going to read Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport, okay? Because James Schultz likes it. A lot of these cool tech YouTubers like it. So I'm going to read it. I want to learn what this is about. I opened this book and it is glorious. I read the entire book in a week. I am hooked. Also, I was on break. I didn't have much to do. So I read the book. It was amazing. I felt like Cal Newport, okay? I felt analog. Now, after reading this book, I have a lot of thoughts. Now, I don't really use social media as much to begin with. I use Instagram maybe to talk to like 2 or 3 people. So I guess digitally decluttering for me was a bit different because you know what I had? I have a crippling YouTube addiction. And this is bad, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. It was horrible. Like there was not a time whenever I am like alone. Like if I'm with friends or like with other people or with my family, I don't really have this problem. But when I'm alone, that app opens up instantly, okay? I scroll on YouTube. You know YouTube Shorts, nobody uses them? I use them. I am the target audience, okay? I am probably the only person who uses YouTube Music. All those comments, those are me. Those are my alt accounts, okay? So I have a really bad YouTube addiction, and you know the worst part? It's not even on my phone, bro. I, being a neuroscience student, I know, okay, there are separate areas in your room that you want to designate in order to study, right? Because your brain associates a certain region of your room with certain activities. So this desk right here, come, let me show you, bro. This desk right here, okay? This is my study desk. Now I have this corner. That's my play area. I call it that because that's basically where I'm allowed to access YouTube, and like watch movies and do anything that is non-productive. I have like a little rug that I just sit on. It's low-key so bummy, bro, but like it's fine. Like I have a small room. Okay, it's not that small. I have a small room, bro, okay? So even though I had a separate area to do different activities and I had separate devices to do separate activities, right? I didn't use YouTube on my phone. My phone in general was pretty minimal as it was. I would use my iPad in that corner so often, bro. Even while getting ready, I would just put YouTube on in the background. And it wasn't even bad content, right? Like I would watch the videos of like the Primeagen or watch people talk about like current tech events or current things that are going on or maybe revelation or thoughts they had. So it wasn't even bad content. The issue was I never remembered what I watched. I would watch these like YouTubers talking about current events, right? I wouldn't remember them. I wouldn't remember anything. Okay, this is bad. What's the point in like consuming this much content if you're not gonna remember any of it? Even if it's educational, if you don't remember it, it doesn't matter. Another issue, this was with my phone. I use Safari way too much throughout the trip, right? My parents would say something, and I was like, "Oh, is that really true?" Or maybe they were curious about something. I was like, "Oh, I wonder what that is too." And I would try Googling it, but I couldn't because I don't have Wi-Fi. I can't explain to you how big of a chokehold this was for me, okay? I like knowing everything. I don't even remember it. It's just if someone asks a certain question, I don't dismiss it. I like knowing what's going on. So I'll try to look it up, but I couldn't look it up. And this doesn't sound like a big issue initially, but this takes up a lot of time because I'll look something up and then I'll go into rabbit holes, okay? I will look up what type of vitamins I need to take and then I'll end up on some weird side of the internet, okay? I'll end up on the side of the internet telling me that my dishwasher is giving me cancer. It's not productive, okay? I promise you. Because I realized that I have this crippling issue, I purchased something. Field notes, oh yeah. These things are amazing, okay? I threw that for real. I need to go get that. These field notes are how I got through the book and still remember things about it because I spent a lot of time taking notes. So yeah, I started taking notes analog, okay? I write things down now. I don't know how much it truly helps me, but it definitely feels a lot better. I feel like there's more spatial recognition going on there. So I use my little Pentel. I'm getting that Rotring soon though, and I am very excited about that. Now, in terms of my phone, okay, I still had some decluttering to do. I know I talked about my iPad and my crippling issue, but I still decluttered my iPhone. So this is what my phone looks like. No, you're not seeing things, okay? It's actually black and white. The reason it's black and white is because it's genuinely only for calling and messaging. I can do nothing else on this. There are certain apps that I need to use, so I still use my phone for those apps, like GroupMe because I'm in school, I'm in college, so I need to use these apps. But for the most part, it's only for phones and messaging. Even Safari. I don't use Safari anymore. Can you believe that? That's crazy. I don't use Safari anymore. Instead of Safari, I have a little notebook, which I like carrying around, or I'll just jot things down if I have any questions, and whenever I come home, I'll use my laptop to look up those notes. Now, my laptop is currently being used to make this video, so I can't show you that, but my laptop is only for school activities and Googling some like random stuff like I just told you. I also have this is my ThinkPad. I love this thing. This thing is only meant for coding on the go. I bought this thing like a year ago and it has only treated me well. I have Fedora installed on this thing and I even upgraded the screen. So it's like 1080p now, I think, because normally it wasn't. And look, I got my own like bootloader on this. This is sick. But yeah, only use that for productive coding. And everything on the laptop is pretty much locked down. So even when I go through YouTube, I don't see like the homepage or anything. I only see the like video link that I click. I'm not able to click the channel name or even go to the comments. It's very locked down. I can't go through social media, nothing. If you want to know more about that extension, I'll make a separate video about it later. Now, you're probably like, what? This is not minimal. You have so many devices. This is not minimal at all. Boo, boo. Okay, that's not the point. It's not about being minimal. It's digital minimalism. It's about being intentional, okay? Because the reason why I have all these devices is because anytime I want to access anything, there's a specific device, and I'm becoming more intentional about my use on the internet. I'm trying to reduce the points in which I go online to do one thing and somehow get navigated to a different corner. Basically, cutting all distractions and maximizing productivity. Sorry, that was like so dramatic. But yeah, it's all about being more intentional with your time. It's not about getting rid of everything. And of course, I do want to say that you don't need to have like this many devices in order to practice digital minimalism. Although it is nice to have single-use devices, it can be costly and it's not needed. All you need is like an ad blocker or a certain website blocker, and you can do pretty much the same thing. So you don't need to buy these devices. I'm not pushing that. Now, the other step that I made was I wrote down what I derived value from. So I wrote down my values on a sticky note, and anything I would do came from those values. So if it wasn't related to certain values I had, maybe spiritual values, maybe physical values, I wouldn't do it. This wasn't super hard for me to do. This is pretty much already what I do. So it wasn't too hard. But what I realized was I would waste a lot of time in the iPad, in the stupid corner, and I wouldn't get anything done. So after practicing being a bit more intentional and decluttering and getting rid of the distractions, I had way more time. I have so much time, in fact, that I don't even know what to do with the time. I'm making this video twice I've made this video. I still have time. This time is something I've always had. I just didn't know it because I was always spending time on YouTube or in stupid areas on Safari whenever I could have had the time in the first place if I was a bit more intentional and I wasn't getting distracted online. There are certain YouTubers I like to watch, like the Prime Vision, to get content on what's happening latest in the tech scene. But I would often find myself clicking other videos after watching his videos, and it was just really weird because it's hard to establish boundaries whenever you're mindlessly clicking, right? So hyperlinking his channel and cutting off the distraction with that extension makes it a bit easier to do that. Yeah, I'm still even trying to fill my time. One of the things I value is being outside, being in nature, being healthy, and cultivating experience with my friends, right? So I wanted to go camping. And me and my buddy actually visited a spot slightly up north, and we saw the Milky Way. This experience was amazing. I've always wanted to go car camping. I like watching this guy on YouTube named Mav, and he goes car or truck camping a lot, and it is amazing. So we went to the spot, we saw the Milky Way, we saw Andromeda Galaxy. It was amazing. I'll put some photos on screen, like right here, so you can actually see what I saw. And we even woke up to the sunrise, and I brushed outside. It was amazing. And there's experiences like that which you can't really make up. Dude, I even like plywood now. Did you know plywood is like $9 for a 4x8 foot sheet? You can make a desk with that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a desk with that. There's a little corner over there, which I wanna convert into like a little productivity corner. Right now I have like this like everything corner. So $9, I can make a whole table, and that's something fun. That's like a hands-on activity that's not online. Because the reality is you're gonna spend a lot of time online as a student because you have to use your laptop, or maybe even when you're working, you have to use the internet. So it's kind of nice to have hobbies or activities which are not online. That way you can have a physical or tangible result at the end of it. Maybe even if you like fixing cars, who knows, maybe you could get a car and you could fix it up. Then you have something at the end of that and you have something to be proud of. You can show it off to people. There's a lot of time that you can regain. And even if you think that you're super locked in, you'll find that there's definitely areas in your life which you could improve on, and you can get some time back. Because the reality is, whenever you're old and gray, you want to have good and valuable memories that you can look back on. Do you really want to say that you're like 70 years old and in your 20s all you did was doom scroll? I don't think so. It takes time, it takes energy, but think about all the experiences and time that you can reclaim. These devices, they're meant to attract your time, they're meant to take it away. It's supposed to be valuable and able to do multiple things at once, a productivity tool. But the reality is, it's taking away your time. And isn't your time more valuable than the money that you're spending on that? And you may be thinking, I still use Instagram, I still use these things to interact with some of my friends, and if I don't do that, they're gonna think I am a horrible friend. Dude, I'm telling you, there are much better ways to support your friends. Now, you can just call your friends, and you'll most likely have a deeper and richer friendship from that if you just call them like every week, rather than liking their post on Instagram and then expecting that that's gonna somehow support your friendship. Maybe instead of sending reels to your grandma, you can just call your grandma, and then you'll have a better relationship with her. I don't know. All I'm saying is you should be more intentional with how you spend your time and what you're doing, because you have a lot to reclaim. There's time out there which has been stolen from you, and you need to take that back because it's your life. There's even this guy that Cal Newport talks about. He's this big executive guy, and he has this thing called phone office hours, where he basically will tell his friends and family that he's available from 4:30 to 5:30, every day because that's whenever he drives back from work. But whenever he's driving, he has some time. So his friends and family will call him during that time because he doesn't text too much because, again, he's an executive. Cal Newport brings about many examples, even people who own businesses who switch to dumb phones, but that's a whole different topic. Just be more intentional. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, if you're just here for that talk, that's pretty much done. I'm gonna yap a little bit about myself, because I like this channel. I want to continue with this channel. And I even have some plans for summer, okay? With this whole spiel, my plans for summer, I feel like fit in with this very nicely. I'm going to go on a road trip with me and my friend, the same guy I went to see the stars with. We're going to go on a road trip for 2 weeks. We're going to hit up Oregon, Cali, and Washington. And we're going to see a bunch of the parks and just be in nature and car camp a lot. I'll definitely make a video for that, and I'm very excited, so stay tuned for that. Because you're only in your 20s once, right? Like, as you get older, regardless, you're gonna have a bit more responsibilities. So take advantage of the time because it's gonna be gone anyways. You might as well have fun. I do know that I'm gonna be a bit more active near the end of this year with this channel. So until then, I'm trying to just upload once every month to still put something out there, but it's not gonna be super active. But this is kind of what it's gonna be like. I hope this is okay. So yeah, that's my whole spiel. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But before we end off, I want to leave you guys with a little quote. And this is a quote by Jim Carrey. And he basically says, "People base their decisions out of love or fear. Sometimes what we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it." Okay, have fun, guys. I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.